Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the sandbox mode very briefly, in which we're taking a quick look at these two buildings, which honestly, I may have spent all of 3 minutes building. I was going to put way more effort into them, then I realised we're likely never going to see them except for on the map, because these both are going to be our material transferring vehicles, and by vehicles, of course, I meant to say buildings. Each of them will have some material storage, will have some fuel storage, and will have repair tentacles, and this way they can build each other up, so you put one down on the map, then you put one a little bit further away, and so on and so forth, and then they can constantly transfer material to each other, moving material from one resource zone all the way down to the other, essentially taking the role of the Dauntless, which we're currently using to move our materials. Now, this is not to say I will no longer have a resource moving vehicle. In fact, I still will have at least one, and I'm still planning on building a new one using the base of the missile vehicle we're currently using, but this just makes it a lot easier when it comes to the resource zones really far away. And I also have a slightly larger variant here, which does have an antenna, a radar, whatever it's actually meant to be called. I believe it is called the antenna in-game, the strategic antenna, yes indeed it is, and well, that's going to help out as well. So occasionally we can put these down, and since it's a bit larger and has a bit more resource capacity, we can also always add a fuel refinery, so then we can get some fuel from midway along the pipeline. I did use this in the previous run of Ashes of the Empire, and it did work very well, even though it took forever to set up. So that's going to be a bit of background work in today's video. But other than that, honestly, I just want to find the first of the resource zones which the Onyx Watch has, and simply take it off them. We are saving it from their evil rule. Here we are then, back in the campaign. So, the places where I really want the pipeline, really, is just between here, and here. This way, our resource vehicles don't always have to go half of the map to get the resources as they stack up. Now, at the moment, that's not really too much of a big issue, but it will be a big issue as we move on. So let's just jump on over here. In fact, let's just pull everything for a second. Let's get some repairing done. All of you that can repair, please do. Good, you're all in repair. Excellent, that's all I wanted to see. And let's see about putting these down then. Hello there, Spin Twins. So, the first one will probably go about here, and then we just carry on up as we see fit. Well, this is definitely the easiest way to do it. Thankfully, even buildings can be moved when they're in their blueprint form. I also think I'm using a few too many here. These are probably way too close, but thankfully these only cost like 400 resources each, I think, so it's not like it's going to cost all that much. Move you there, move you there. And then just go like this. Then I'll set them all up with their supply settings so that the resource will only go one way, and that will be done. This should take me maybe 5 minutes. It's boring, incredibly tedious, but once it's done, I no longer have to think about where the resource is moving ever again. And of course, this is an unlimited resource zone as well, which is pretty darn fantastic. And there we have it. All of the resources now being transferred from the unlimited resource zone down here over to our little fortified section here, which it then can just be picked up at any given time. Now, one thing I want to say is that you can build this type of pipeline far cheaper and far faster than I've done. I just like the idea of them at least looking like a depot like this. I mean, if we look, it's still only 253 resources, but if we go over here, you can literally just do this. And we're done. That will work almost as well. Actually, no, I think it needs to be a certain size for it not to die. Either way, though, it can be much smaller than what we have here. Perhaps that was just a bit of a bad example. And it doesn't necessarily need the repair tentacle. That's definitely the most expensive part, but that does mean you need a vehicle going along as you're building this system to actually provide the repair ability to build up all of the different buildings. How big does a building have to be to survive? I can't remember. I know it's quite small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still only 12 resources, and Yep, seems to live at that. I don't remember exactly how small they can be, but they definitely can be absolutely tiny. So this pipeline would have cost literally 20 times less if we only put these. Well, actually, more than 20 times less if we built it like this, and if I figured out the smallest possible building, even less than that. But I at least like it having some semblance of something functional. So now, the resource is all being collected over here, which is fantastic. The last thing I need to do is just make it so that the last of the pipeline pieces, the pipe small, will feed into the structure here. And we are done, at least for now. I will finish this off probably soon enough, going all the way into the main base, and then especially once we have one of the resource zones from either the Lightning Hoods or the Onyx Watch. But for now, going up to here is easy enough, and honestly, the Dauntless can get there in only a few minutes each way, so that's not a massive issue. So right now, the Dauntless is going down, it'll grab the resource, and then go back to the main group, and in that time, we can do one more attack. Also, yes, that was incredibly boring to build. My mind is kind of melty right now. Yeah, something I've just realised is we do not have enough defense over here. Now, thankfully, the last two sets of Lightning Hood forces both ended up just reinforcing the area, rather than attacking us. The problem is, though, I don't know how long this is going to last, so I really should build up some forces here. So I think I'm going to build maybe 2 Pharaoh tanks. In fact, what I could do is just send down 2 of the tanks. So I'm afraid this group will be a little bit weakened by this, but I don't want to be killed. So we have 2 Pharaoh tanks, and we have the Steel Curtain. Should I send anything else down with it? You know what? We could send down both of the oh, one of them got destroyed. Well, we can send down one of the Dismantlers. Wait, did I end up destroying the Dismantler to build something else? Either way, the Dismantler seems to be useless versus the Onyx Watch, but it had some use versus the Lightning Hood, so definitely seems worth that. We do have enough money to build something else as well. We could build... yeah, we're going to build one more of the Doom drone to send over there, and yes, I still haven't named them because there's just been so many good suggestions. This is the last video, I promise, where the missile vehicle and the Doom drone are unnamed. So very, very, very last chance, I promise this once, because we can't leave them unnamed for that long. So let's build ourselves some Doom. There we are, some new forces are being created, one more missile craft and one more tank. Now, what I could have done is have the missiles have half of them with frag, half of them with EMP, but I wanted to see what happened after a full volley hit all at once, all with them using 6 warheads on the ground vehicle and 2 and 3 warheads, because there's a mix there, with the airborne vehicle. Yeah, this is not a good time to test that, because I know for a fact the Rhino has a ridiculous amount of heavy armor, which absorbs and takes damage from EMP, which is good and bad at the same time, and I know a lot of them have the surge protectors. Yeah, this isn't going to go perfectly, is it? Should be fun, though, still. Should be fun. Let's just make sure everything loads in correctly. Go away, water. Go on. Might be a bit of friendly fire as well between these two, which is nice. That was weird. Okay. A lot of the enemies spawned in the ground itself, which you don't normally see, honestly. And it looks like we need to max this out again because our Doom drone didn't accurately tell us how much volume it was because of its little servitors. Wait, am I on the helicopter? Oh my god, can I be in a more vulnerable position? I believe in you, tiny copter. I don't really, but if I say that... What on earth is going on there? You cannot into space, Onyx Watch. Get down! You are misbehaving. Oh my god, is everyone firing at this copter? Okay, I'm a coward. No, go into a tank instead. There we go. Much safer. Okay, the Hesh is all going for the Rhino, as to be expected. Also, all of the missiles there from the copter were completely nullified. Oh, Lord. Oh, dodge it, copter! Good! Good! Okay, so these are definitely EMP, since when they're being destroyed, they're not causing fragments. Why are you not going for the Rhino? Also, you're all being taken out. My god, the Rhinos anti-munition system is ridiculously powerful. Yay, one actual EMP hit, and some smaller EMP hits. Hard to tell what just happened, though. Ooh. Something broke in it anyway. Oh, wow. Please say I'm not in that tank. Cool guys don't look at explosions. Oh, lots of internal damage being done there. I just heard whoa, the Hesh is ripping the Rhino apart from the inside. Oh, listen to those internal explosions. Look at the weird warping effect. Oh, I love Hesh so much. Those are EMP missiles from the flyer. At least they're pretty. Yeah, not doing all that much, honestly. It seems like they need more warheads, so maybe these ones. It's hard to tell, though, because, well, yeah, Hesh and normal explosives all just hit at the same time. The Rhino is looking okay. I would say that Rhino is scrappable at this stage, even with the honor rules. The problem is the other force is still alive. Please stop going for the Rhino. It is clearly downed. EMB hitting the one enemy, which is actually using some wooden armor. That's good. Oh, wait, no. Are you the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, that is wood, isn't it? Or is it just painted metal? Could be painted metal. Oh, there's so many enemy forces. Stop focusing on the Rhino. This one is hurting you. Hurting you is bad. Hurt him. Good. Oh, internal damage. I love you. One gun offline already. And you're gone. I really do love my tanks, though. The fact they're still surviving this is phenomenal. I think the engines are too vulnerable on these tanks, though. It's the only part, ooh, with very little armor. Advanced cannons versus cram cannons. It's like the future versus the past. Oh, also there's missiles. Here we see the migratory patterns of the EMP missile. Aren't they just beautiful? Dodging enemy predators such as the lonesome tank barrel. Some are not that lucky. Is everyone dead? Both sides seem to have taken quite a bit of damage, but yeah, I would say that was a resounding success on our forces' part. Yeah, is any enemy actually still in fighting order? This guy. There's one more bison just kind of going around shooting at us. Oh, something just popped. I think it just popped its engine. Well done. You did something. No, maybe not the engine, but... Ooh, ow. Yeah, 2 warheads for EMP, probably not enough, especially with things using surge protectors. Still, there's always an explosion. I think it's just because there's so many little local weapon controllers for these little side guns. Ooh. Don't be mean to the new vehicle. You know what? A load of our vehicles are offline as well. There's 2 bisons, actually. Wow, this is such a long fight. This is why fighting the Onyx Watch takes so long. It's just because every battle is just such a long process. Ow. Okay, go for this guy. He looks like he's got more health, and he's closer, so higher chance for you to hit. Thank you. One gun offline straight away. Can you do that again to the other one? Just neutralize him. Is that enemy Rhino still going? I don't know what to say. Sometimes, just... Yeah. There we go. Oh man, both sides looking so bad. Yeah, those missiles are doing terribly on our missile vehicle. Just how long range... Also, traitor missiles, thank you. Because they're going after the Bisons, because they have the largest volume outside of the Rhino, which is too far away for them to actually pick up on. So they're going after it, even though they're much further range, because they're backing off from that target instead. What I think I need to do is let the AI pick who it's moving away from. Or perhaps just use laser-pointed missiles so this doesn't happen. Because right now, he's that far away because this guy is too close. But his missiles are going after the Bison, which means they're never going to reach the target. I mean, even just increasing their range by a bit. If we could increase their range by 500 meters, the issue would resolve itself. Boing. Oh, massive explosion there. I think the Rhino is down and out. 2 damaged. Wherever it hits, just completely destroyed it. Okay, everyone off. Nope, no, not everyone off. There's still one more functional Bison. There's always one more functional Bison, it seems. The Bison. The survivor of the Onyx Watch. Yep, definitely making those missiles longer range as soon as this battle stops. My words are going away now. You know, people wanted to see closer battles, though, and I think I am definitely delivering on that. We definitely won, but at one point that didn't seem so obvious. Okay, everyone off. I think there's several tanks we can scrap here. Or maybe they'll be damaged in enemy territory. Because the game doesn't love me. Oh, just kill them. Just kill them. I can't be bothered. It's too long. Just die, die, die. There we are. The missile's doing their job and doing it pretty darn well, honestly. You see, this is how it should go. Because now he's backing off from this target, which means his missiles are in range of the target, the missiles are going for the right target, and the enemy is being absolutely melted because of it. Also, all those warnings I'm getting is just... Ah. Go away, warnings. Thank you. EMP! Oh my god, that took forever. Oh, everyone heal up, please. Oi. Don't unless I might need some more, resource. All of you get together so you can all heal up. Don't let's get there with your resources. Okay, satellite, where are you? There we are. You move there. Let's find their resource zone. That last fight ended up lasting 13 minutes. Now, of course, I will have cut that for the video, so hopefully it's like 7, 8 minutes, something like that. But either way, it gave me a chance to really look at our forces and see the good things and the bad things. The good things, the Pharaoh tanks in general. They are just doing so much better than I ever would have expected. The bad things, well, that's the thing. I think every other vehicle still needs to be refined. I think I've started using them too early without enough testing and problems keep on arising. But now the missiles do have an extra 300-meter range, which should hopefully stop a lot of the problems they were experiencing. And on top of that, I have also once again changed the drone to only use fragment and allowed its missiles to be longer range again as well. So the drone I think is working just fine, the tank's working fine, the missiles need some rework, especially because of the whole friendly fire issue. Because they're quite small, I need quite a few of them in the overall force count, which means there's a lot of missiles going and I can't get clear lines of fire when I'm also using the Pharaoh tanks. So I think I will have to redo the missile section completely so that they're using delayed thrusters with a lot of the ejector add-ons, so the missiles go way up into the air, then the thruster activates, then they hail down, similar to the drone. Or I just use far less of them, which isn't really what I want. Now the satellite is heading its way over here, so we can see where the first resource zone is. So for now, just defend our territory. I did see a lightning hood thing move over here, so we may have a fight soon. Maybe. We're going to go this way, so we don't end up having a fight, which is way too close to the water. If we attack this tile, there's a good chance we'll end up fighting in this area, which is not good for either side. If we attack here, we can attack a little bit lower, So the fight is sort of situated like this. Still think we're going to end up with some fighting in the water, though. What? Is that the main... Is that actually the main fortress? Well, I think we just found the main fortress of the Twin Guard. I might be wrong, because how close it is, but they're kind of right there. Well, that's worrying for them, because we're just within striking distance, if I can use my words correctly. Well, I know the next target, anyway. But for now, let's lure these guys out of that area, so we're fighting as much on the regular land as possible.
Moving out.
Okay, no rhino this time, at least. Can you both go down as much as possible for a second? Thank you. We do not want... Okay, that's fine. Somewhere in between the water and the lightning hoods would be perfect for us. Who are you? Doom Drone, why are you so far away? Not that really matters, you end up getting quite far away from the fight anyway. Ooh, you might end up going into the water when trying to avoid targets. That would be funny, so I'm going to allow you to go there because of that single reason. In fact, you can have a friend. Yeah, that's not the smartest thing to do. Pharaoh Tank, get right up in their faces and say hi. What are you? Yeah, you're another bit further back, but same idea. Just don't want you all at the same distance away, otherwise you'll end up ramming into each other, which isn't particularly good. Why did I group you all up so much? That's actually a little bit annoying. You're the copter, yep. Well, the copters have been dying every time, and half-time ramming into the target, but still. Still have their uses, which is the important part. Okay, you need to go away from there, otherwise you'll end up getting missiles to the back of your face. Also known as your head. And you are... Yeah, the copter. Lovely. I mean, to be fair, the copters are there purely for distraction. Their cost is so ridiculously low, it doesn't matter if every single time they end up hitting the floor, as long as an enemy fires at them a couple of times, and that their missiles end up distracting the enemy anti-missile systems, they're really fulfilling their role. It's really good to have two of them just for that particular purpose. Okay, that was odd even by From the Depth standards. I definitely spawned the landing correctly. The only one of my forces which bounced is that one, and yet, like, half of the enemy are just bouncing. I don't quite get what happened there. Ah, well, continue. That was weird. I mean, it didn't do any damage to them, so it hasn't really affected them, but still. Incoming newer, longer-range missiles. Please all hit now and prove me right that I've done a good thing. Oh, they're all focusing on one of our tanks. Not good. Yep, even with the missiles going for the target at the back, they are all landing. There we go, it's fixed. At least when the enemies are so cramped up like this. Missiles did a fair bit of damage there as well, chunking away at the enemy armor. It's really good at, taking away detection systems and stuff. Also, a lot of you are still in fleet move, which is my bad. Not that really affected anything, you're all still fighting, and that's all I really wanted you to do. And if anything, that was probably quite distracting. Yeah, the missiles are working so much better now. Those might not be in range, because the drone is still getting in range. Ow! I just saw the drone take a missile. Which one of the enemies here has missiles? Oh, you there at the back, okay. Yep, the missiles are doing fantastically this time. Look at that. Crushing through the outer layer of armor, making them so much more vulnerable to everything else. And that Hess shell did actually land. Well done. Oh, look at that. That whole section just crumpled in. Yep, this fight's going so much better than last time. Probably because of the lack of Rhino. I say whilst I see one of my tanks bounce up in the air because of missiles. By missiles, I meant to say cram cannon shots. You're going to ram the floor soon. Yep, I still haven't fixed that, by the way. All I need to do is remove 2 blocks of ammunition, which is weighing down the front so much it's no longer compensating for its own movements. Meaning that over time, especially when it's close to the enemy, it does that. That's all I need to do. But I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't. glorious. Soon, Onyx Watch, your lands will be ours. And look at all the missiles being in range. I think they're all offline. Ow. Okay, maybe one's not. But seriously, are any of you actually fighting back, except for that one? Oh, I could capture all of these. No, I can't. Okay, honor rule's not satisfied. Well, kind of are. I could do, but it just takes such a long time to do that. It's so annoying. Like, capturing a vehicle is annoying in this game as it is. Even if you have a vehicle to get you to the target, even with some melee ability, it just isn't fun. It really isn't. Once again, though, Hesh proving itself worthy. So, people were asking me, though, in the previous video, why do I like enemies with heavier armor when I'm using Hesh? What gives with that? Why is that a good thing for us? And the reason is, Hesh is a very special, very, very weird shell type. Those lovely blue fragments, which we should hopefully see in a second, thank you, spawn inside of the enemy. So you hit that piece of metal there, once it eventually reaches the inside, like this, as you can see, what a perfect example, the Hesh fragments spawn. And the idea is, these are meant to be flakes of armor from the armor itself that it's hit. And the higher the armor value of the armor that flakes off and starts shredding the inside, the higher the armor penetration value, or is it the damage? One of the two, the more powerful these fragments are. So when they have heavy armor on the inside like this, these are going to shred everything they touch. As you can see there, almost everything broke which it came in contact with. And there's the copter! Oh, that's wonderful. Your people need you, I understand. Oh, that's glorious. Yep, the missiles did so much better. So I'll be right back when this fight's over, because, well, we're just waiting now for the enemy to die, and then we'll move on to the next tile, fight these guys, then fight the resource zone, put down at least 2 of the steel curtains, and then finally, we have more resources. Ah, the drone's doing well as well. The drone's still a lot cheaper than the ground version as well, which always surprises me. Normally flyers are more expensive because jets and stuff are expensive, so are stronger engines, but because this guy's so slow, and kind of scrappy, that's not the case. Okay, so that's actually strength 150, not the strength 100. That's not the best. Might consider stealing one of my tanks back. Yeah, maybe that'd be best. Even a Scorpion might be good here, actually, just for some consistent low damage, which is weird to think, but it might be good to have the variety. Well, I've decided we're going to be a little bit stupid. We are going to be fighting the entire enemy force as one, which means I am going to use all the resource I have to bulk our army up a little bit, and to start off with, we are going to make 2 mosquitoes, our lovely little sand skimmers. Because they make great distractions, they're cheap, and their initial alpha strike is actually really quite scary. So if that gets to hit a single target, then maybe things will work out for us. So 2 mosquitoes and probably a scorpion. Or maybe just 3 mosquitoes, for a bit of variance. So, this may have been a terrible mistake. There are 2 rhinos. That's almost 500,000 materials. Right there, in 2 vehicles. Then there's the oxen, which is pretty huge itself. Then there's all the rest of the stuff, and then there are cannon towers. And as we've seen before, towers can be very, very, very powerful. I don't think we get to live through this. That's the thing. But it's gonna be glorious. Even if their force count is 60.5 and mine is 17. The Onyx Watch, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently quite bouncy, but still pretty darn terrifying. 2 rhinos being surrounded by their usual forces. And then over here is the oxen, their resource harvester. Which looks pretty cool, gotta be honest. 2 cannon towers. I can only assume, yep, they're using cram cannons. Of course they are. That's just what they do. So how do we win this? A good bit of luck, and relying on the Pharaoh tanks to survive and have armor as good as I hope they have. Fire! Look at all those cram shots. Thankfully, mostly missing. Don't know what happened there. Don't really care. It missed. Oh, yeah, 2 rhinos worth of anti-munition laser systems as well. That's going to be brutal against our missile systems. That's it, Hesh. Take out that sodding rhino. Oh, look at it fly! Look at all that missiles hit as well. That's glorious. Some missiles there in the back going for the oxen. All the cram seems to be focusing on one of our Pharaoh. Or Pharaoh. Or Farah. JK. I'm so focused right now. Yep, that is looking good, actually. Both of the rhinos have sustained a lot of damage already, and the missiles are overwhelming their munition defenses in sheer number. Not that the missiles do all that much, honestly, but they do chip away, and they are lovely to be there. The oxen looks a little bit hurt, but not really enough. You kind of just bounced. Oh, that tank is not having a fun time of this. I wonder why they focus on that one in particular so much. Don't really know. And right now I think we need to focus on the damage we're doing for a morale boost. Just saw another Hesh hit there. Did something. Let's pause time for a second. Let's just see how everything's going. Okay, one of the mosquitoes is still alive. A little bit surprising. Actually, no, 2 of them are alive. Both of them look like they fired all their shots and now are retreating as they're meant to do. Excellent, well done. The Hesh is going in, hopefully is making its mark. Actually, there's another reason why you do love missiles here. Because the anti-munition laser system, whee, can actually affect advanced cannon shells. It's not particularly great at it, but it can. And since we don't fire too fast, we could lose some shots to that. You appear to have grown a barrel. That looks odd. I think it just broke, but it hasn't quite loaded in properly. Or perhaps it healed. Again, 1 repair bot each. That is potentially possible. You're being hit by some low-end missiles, which is absolutely fine. That'll do nothing to you. You're being targeted by something. And let's just have a quick look-see at the oxen. Oh, but first, our tank that's being focused on. Yeah, heavy armor is so ridiculously good versus cram. The oxen seems to fire a load of very, just not overly powerful shells at once. Kind of just looks like it's a bison that's been beefed up armor-wise. So actually, yeah, the oxen isn't particularly that scary. I mean, it's still scarier than a bison, but it's not as scary as I thought it might be. Like the rhino, for instance, which is still terrifying to me. All of the Hesh seems to be focusing on this single rhino, which is fine. Yep, there it goes, floating up a bit. One of its ammo stores must have just gone up. Oh, on a side note, I changed the copters a little bit so they're not going into the ground. So as long as they're not hit, they should maintain a certain height, but at the same time, well, they could potentially still fly too high or fly too low if they get hit or a near hit. Oh, look at that! Just everything just exploded outwards. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, that rhino is looking bad. The other rhino is now being focused on since it now has the highest volume. Some weird shadow effects going on there. Fragment missiles doing very, very little. Oh. Okay, actually, this is looking really good. Not to jinx it, but we are seemingly winning this one. The tanks are all still functional. One rhino is almost down. The other rhino is taking heavy damage. The main weapon is still online, though, I think. Yep. Did that just damage itself? No shell came out, and I saw an explosion after. Yep, there it is. That's a shell, I think. That was weird. Where are those shells coming from? I don't quite know. They're not ours, are they? No, they look like... Are they? No, they're definitely not ours. I don't have a fuse in the middle like that. Is that a fuse or is it a different wire? Oh, I think we must have damaged one of its guns and it has the ammo ejectors. Huh. I thought that was a bit weird. Just shooting out fireworks at the moment. Surprised that's the first time I've seen that happen then, if that was something in the Rhino. Oh, the Oxen looks like it might be down. No, it's not. It's just taking a long time to aim. At the moment, we are running at only 20 FPS. Normally, battles at worst go down to maybe 30, so that shows how much is actually going on right now and probably how much I'm missing. Oh, Bo. Bad. Oh, Bo. What? Did that shell just get deflected? Yeah, see, I don't put too much stock in cram cannon shells anymore. I used to love, I mean, look at the Plague Guard in the last campaign. Incoming little spoiler here. In the Nita campaign, the Plague Guard basically carried us in all the end fights, and that was a cram cannon brawler. But, I don't know, for some reason, cram has not really impressed me all that much so far. But saying that, we did lose to the Onyx Watch. Bit of awesome stammering there. Could be a wrap. Oh! That dodge. Well done. Still airborne as well. Well done. Huge explosion. Lovely. Boing. Oh, wow, that dodge. Yep, that's fantastic. I think the enemy have been focusing on the mosquitoes and the flyers a bit too much as well. And that Rhino looks like it might be down. Nope, but it's very close. And it's dancing a jig. Yeah. Missiles. Not too impressed by you either, honestly. Oh, that's its ammo store. Yep, that's its ammo store. And you've lost your barrel. Okay, 2 of our tanks are offline. 2 of our tanks are now offline. The battle is no longer guaranteed. I think I may have jinxed it earlier. We still are doing well. I think we'll get to a position where it's so much damage done to the enemy, I won't mind losing. Because, again, the enemy outnumber us and outcost us. Maybe 4 to 1. Well, about 3 to 1 when it comes to volume. About 4 or 5 to 1 when it comes to cost. So as long as we can... Oh, that looked bad. As long as we can turn off a lot of their main vehicles, like the Rhinos, then I think we're going to be okay. The missiles are still coming in, though, weakening them constantly. But I am not seeing any Hesh at all. I think our tanks have finally been taken out. And I'm still so proud of my little Pharaoh tanks, my little Pharaoh tanks. Just look at them. They take so much damage before they finally turn off. None of them online? None of them. At least in terms of weapons, it looks like they are pretty much down and out. All of the missile vehicles, though, are still going. And although their damage has been underwhelming, at best, they're still going. So are the mosquitoes. Go you little guys. Being the pests you were born to be. Looks like the Oxen is... No, Oxen is still up. I keep thinking it's dead, but apparently it's always alive and I think it's dead. One of the mosquitoes is all the way back here. And drawing the fire away from the main force, which is honestly their whole purpose in life. Come on, missiles. Be the heroes you were born to be. Oh, but seriously though, you're never going to hurt the Rhino, that heavy armor. No, maybe you will. Maybe you will. You are breaking it apart slowly. Very slowly. Are we going to see a ram here? Come on, little tank. Get some... Oh, look, its little barrel. It's trying to repair. It's never going to work. Oh, that copter's been hit. Look, it's going down. You stayed in the air until the last moments. I'm so proud of both of you. Oh, an eternal explosion there. Okay. And it ended up ramming the enemy. You know they had to, even when they can actually fly. The drone's doing well, just happily peppering away still. Still completely fine for its fire rate. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so 3 of the tanks still have their AI. The AI is very heavily protected, and the cram seems to be struggling to get through. Just stay alive, eh? Bit of friendly fire going on there. Not that I'm complaining. Yep, this is taking forever now, by the way. That's an oxen shot. No, it was finally going to hit the rhino. Why would you do that? Why would you remove all the joy from this poor thing's life? Also, I have no idea why it's doing this. I don't get how the AI can be damaged to cause that to happen. I mean, it did break some metal, but now it's in the way of the missiles. Oh, did that missile get through? It did. Then some friendly fire. Of course. Mosquito's still going. Oh, cram shot to the side. Cram side to the shot. Oh. Oh, 2 tanks gone. 2 of the Pharaoh tanks both just vanished at the same time. That's actually really bad, because as soon as they're gone... Oh, friendly fire, thank you. But as soon as they're gone, they're no longer going to be focused on, obviously because they're not there, by the regular tanks, which means our missile craft will then be focused on. Which is not what I want to see. More internal damage there. Just keep on going, just keep on weathering it away. This is the weakness of missiles, by the way, just heavy armor. I think Thumper missiles might do better. But explosive or fragment both really struggle with heavy armor. They do fine against regular metal, they do great against wood, and they do great against vulnerable sections like detection systems and exposed barrels. But against heavy armor, it's just not enough armor penetration, so the damage percentage is just so low. Destroy that weapon already! The fact they are now aiming at the copter is a really bad sign. I think they're almost done now completely with... the Pharaohs. You're the last one with an AI. Yep, you definitely are. Good job the AI is normally the last thing to be destroyed. That's the only reason why they're surviving so long. Oh, 1 rhino is down! The missiles have taken down a rhino. 200,000+ resource just got destroyed. Where are those missiles even going for? I mean, come on, surely that's a bigger target than whatever you're... Oh, are they still going after the rhino? Potentially, potentially. That mosquito's still dodging shots! Why did I have to say that? Thankfully, it's a very small shot. Looks like a damaged vehicle shooting, but still. Yeah, it looks like the cram are now changing targets completely. They're going after the copters for some reason, I don't know why, but then they're going to go after our missiles. All of our tanks have been destroyed. The tanks are no longer in this fight. All we have left now is the missiles. On the upside, the missiles will continuously back off. The downside, I think we're going to go into some weird territories. I don't know how that actually affects the game. The missiles should be better versus the smaller tanks, though, than the Rhino, because at least they have more heavy armor and they have more exposed weaponry. In terms of per meter, I suppose. The Rhino, of course, has loads of weapons, but it's also huge. The drone will never surrender. The other good thing is that none of my forces now are running off fuel except for the mosquitoes. The missile bases use RTGs, and the... Oh no, the Doom Drone uses regular material. Yep, the Doom Drone is still subject to losing all of its fuel. It's not actually fuel, but it's still burning something, and that will eventually run out. The missile bases, on the other hand, the ground versions, they can go forever. Huzzah for green energy! Even though it's radioactive. Huzzah for radioactive energy. Is that the Rhino? No, it's the Oxen. I was going to say, is that the... Wait, where's the Rhino? Is that it? It's hard to tell with all the smoke. No, I think both the rhinos must have been destroyed. Did I miss that? Am I correct? The oxen, bombard, cannon tower. We destroyed both rhinos. I think we still might win. It looks like all of the enemies are damaged, and the missiles are really taking their toll. I knew the missiles could be heroes. Weak, slow heroes. Oh, no, 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 no. Yes, that drift. Thank you. You can't handle the drift. Oh, hello. I was just kind of sitting there watching for a while. That's a lot of exposed internals. As soon as that happens, these missiles become a lot more deadly. In fact, that's kind of what they're good for. If the enemy's already wounded, the fragment missiles become just devastating. Okay, I'm going to say the oxen is losing here. The 2 mosquitoes and the ground missile is just going to win that. My missiles aren't actually going for those flares, right? Because that would be really irritating if they were. Oh, thank you for focusing on the mosquito. You are so bad at hitting this thing. They must be so annoyed. The mosquitoes are totally the heroes in this fight, by the way. Just putting it out there. They have totally won us this fight. Yep, just keep on trying to kill this guy. That's fine. Oh, you brave souls. I feel like whoever drives the mosquito is just this insane pilot. Just the ones who don't mind giving up their lives for the cause. Oh no, I think it's finally gone. No, it was lying. It was lying. What on earth has gone on with your AI? This poor thing, look at it. You can't reach that missile craft, can you? But it's already damaged, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's that. How did that happen? No, seriously, how did that happen? What? How? No, that must have been a... I can't even understand how that happened. What happened? Did you glitch on the ground? Did a shot hit you and flip you? But I know it definitely isn't these rotor blades. They actually have no physical presence except for where they're placed. Hence why these things don't always bounce when they land. Well, they don't always constantly bounce. Oh... Thank God your aim is terrible. This battle's going to take forever. The enemy are being quite dumb with their movements, and again, they are focusing on things like the mosquito and the flyers, which has just allowed my very weak missiles to slowly win, and of course backing off. Now, normally, those craft would still lose, because the tanks of the Onyx Watch are actually quite fast, but because they're already so damaged from the fight, I don't think they can actually catch up anymore, which means I think we win. The mosquitoes are such trolls. Just how, though? Oh! I don't know how I missed it. Okay, yep, one of our missile craft, I think, yep, just went down. Okay, you're too damaged, finally. So we have the one which got flipped. And all the way over here, we have some fighting going on. Ooh, maybe that's what happened. It seems like the battle now is so far apart. The land is unloading itself from time to time. I mean, just seriously, look at how far the enemies are. There's one over there, then there's one all the way over there, and there's our units. It's getting a bit ridiculous now. But yeah, one of our non-flipped missile craft did get taken out by a cram shot. I have no idea when it happened, but it did, so... The drone's certainly proving its worth, even though its missiles are quite weak. The mosquito's proving just everything. Oh, come on. I kind of want to flip you. Just to save you at this point. But that would be cheating. Because what I have to do is, like, build on it and kind of just force... I don't know. I actually don't know how I would do it, but it would be a bit cheaty. You're firing little shots. I don't know where they're actually going there. Oh, you're firing them at the mosquito and you're landing none of them. Just none of them. These towers have lasted a while, haven't they? What happened? This must... Whoa, that's like a balancing act. Physics dictates that you should really be falling over right now. A missile went through you. That's how much damage you've taken. One tower down. Yep, it's definitely happening. The land keeps on despawning. I think one of the enemy just flipped. I can't keep myself in the middle. Even when I'm in this mode, it still happens. See? We're just out of the overall range. I'm so glad they didn't really focus on the drone at all. So that's what must have happened to that guy. Oh, look, yep, and one of the mosquitoes is doing that weird balancing that the other one was doing. I assume then that could be related. And that one's still trying to fight at least. Oh, no, 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 don't kill it. That's just, ow, expensive. That's just spiteful. Hello? Longer range missiles are definitely more reliable. But I did lose a warhead. That missile just decided you weren't even worth it. Oh, something's too damaged in enemy territory. That could actually be either, honestly. I think it's the enemy. Oh, no, don't say the... Yep, the landers despawned again. The landers despawned again. Even in the middle it occurs, by the way, so I'd rather still watch the fight. I think it's a guaranteed victory now. Yep, there's only you, who can't move, the tower, who can't seem to fire properly, and you, who's being bullied by the drone because you're upside down. So, yeah. No, not again! Oh! Ooh, do you flip on your correct side now? No, you don't. No, you do not. %50 damage. Wow, that was on like 80% before. That one shot did that much damage. No wonder one of them got killed at some point. By the way, if you're wondering if this lovely drone and the missiles, can they actually win a fight like this on their own? They can't. I tested it a lot in the sandbox mode because I didn't want vehicles that could win and just play the coward's way out, but never ever lose. The only reason they've won this one is because all of the vehicles involved were so badly damaged near the end, and they kept on focusing on things which weren't really a threat. They could have easily been in range of things like the drone. As you can see here, the drone does not go so far away that it's out of range of the enemy. It just so happens they didn't focus on it at all. And the drone is a bit of a troll as well with its movements. Last one? Yep, definitely the last one. So the question is, will it land a hit? Oh, that might hit one of the side ones. No. I can't believe we won. And I can't believe that fight took 40 minutes. Actually, 30 minutes. I can't read the time. Oh my god, we've won finally. Look at how many dead we've got. Wow, that was brutal for both sides. On the upside, this resource zone has 449,000 resources. So yeah, was worth it. So we need to put down our resource gatherer as soon as possible, then we can start repairing all we've got. Thank you so much for watching though. Obviously, really out of time right now. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. I hope for more shorter battles. I mean, that was a lot of fun. Definitely the most fun I've had in all the battles so far, but I was getting a bit tired near the end. Got to be honest. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye.